Hey, so let's check it out here. I've been working on what was it? This bad puppy here. It's kind of a play on a hydrogen wave function gambit. Um, Basically, it's my Mason's pitch pyramid scheme, a little different in the math house. And I just wanted to keep this material quick. Let's do a quick little flash through some material. Some of it will be fairly redundant. As far as this AI dealing with it all, Victor Timely and me, beep beep, and I gotta figure that out. See if I can get back to just going through here. We'll need some of this stuff. Smith chart may not be relative here, but when we get into the sinusoidal wavity bits of it and trying to play with this type of topology, remember we don't have any of this built. From the mindset gambit here, we're playing this 100,000 years or 40K in the future after all blown up in certain eddy currents because I didn't have a freaking resistor here, and therefore some time vortex bubble around a black hole opened up because of radio waves and gamma radiation. All right, anyways. And that's a lot because of this throw, because light's a wave. And, there is here, you have a power system or a power source that applies through the system. If it was on batteries, this will eventually throw down. On the approximation of infinity, right, there's a curvature issue about like how long it goes. Is it stacking? Can I form a loop on the symmetry for that planar space? And that's important because it's not exactly units. Remember, this thing throws out. This is an M1, M2, Mn scale of 1.004 wave function. Well, what is 1? This is 1. This is what 1 unit squared circle would look like when I can't square the circle, or inside of D10. I'm outside of it, I'm at the edge of it, and I'm internal to the issue before you get to that 9th dimensional. Looks like the 10th dimension, but it's got some flaw. Again, power source, energy, it all works on the wave function, but technically speaking, in a gravitational field here anyways, or in the core of a star or whatever's going to go down in here, this is going to eventually find homogenization. The universe is finite in terms of its energy. Even if you can manage to manipulate eddy currents of this form, or the way that Laplace or Fourier transformation correlates this antenna to that Smith chart as far as one element to the next. Remember, we're in the approximation. Epsilon is equal or less than 0, or equal to or more than 0, actually, because 0 is nothing. It could be any form of this, any combination, different states of it. We could have just done this brick up top. 0 isn't really anything because it's a big portion of this is missing, but there's a connection to what actions at distance is relative inverse square. All right, anyways, so what I was trying to do here is, I was talking about this is distance, and I know what you're thinking, E and F here, but look how I was writing this out again, in just case I haven't got that message out yet. There's a A-B system to this control system and control theory about how I want to play this out, or at least that's my emotional contagion pyramid scheme. How you guys use that later too is going to be a lot about this scale. It doesn't necessarily need to be hydrogen, could be this breadboard, but that's basically what we're doing. We're starting with a measurement. What is the first thing here? Could be a transistor, could be an LED. Probably most likely, seeing that Ben Eater already broke it down, it's going to be the start to here to get this button switch, just a line and wires and an LED, some resistors, capacitors, things with 2 inputs and outputs, right? It's got a line and it's got a system. So don't get into the triple body problem, alien tech yet until you figured out some of this stuff, because it's going to be really important. Then maybe you can play some 9D stuff. I might not be able to touch into every field at any point in time in the universe, but 100% this is the answer. This Laplace or Fourier or some kind of transform on that, because that's what gives me the stone mill calc, right? I come in, I hit the button, and then my wave operator gets going. I put in a pallet, I take out the pallet. I put in the pallet, I put out the pallet. That's giving me my modes. It's giving me my H's and my M1s and M2s. That's where the position were kind of in this 0 in bar position where X and Y play at this FX variable down here to this one-dimensional point where it's superposition. So, you're getting into here, and again, you're saying, well, okay, so that makes more sense. I could have a power source. Technically, on the scale of the universe, as long as it's plugged in and I pay my light bill, that is epsilon is less than or equal to 0. That's a closed circuit. Now, when I had to change batteries, let's say this was a real breadboard, technically that's what I'm doing. I'm saying by the units, or over at CERN, it would take what? If you're not using a 9-volt battery, 80 billion batteries to power that before you put it in a loop in a vacuum that says now I can do it with one magnet in a shorter distance, arranging some of the Smith charts particle accelerator as far as the alpha, beta, and electron that's going to get ripped out of this thing as far as what that railgun particle accelerator is going to do, because here we're starting to rip away mass in a hurry. And I wanted to change that wave function here. It's component parts high, component parts low, hydrogen, helium. But how do you get lithium out there as far as what this is on that wave function? 1, 4, 6. There's not going to be anything 1, 4, 6 that doesn't get heavier than that on the way out. So, that's where I am with it. Now, again, I'd love to have this type of equipment or go through red, white, and blue phase over the military, because I know somewhere in here there is a power source and there is an output. And that comes back around and goes right back through the line. That's a different story, I guess. Right. And maybe Rhodes, could you argue with me? Prove or disprove?